Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to review or just give my thoughts on The Rose Daughter by Maria Lewis while I attach Who's Afraid of Pins to this Rose Pin Trader backpack. Yes, this is Disney themed, but I bought it because the roses looked similar from the cover. And I just want to show my love of The Rose Daughter because it is one of my favourite Maria Lewis books. The Witch Who Caught Her Death being #1 and this and The Wailing Woman sitting side by side as #2 because I love all my books equally, but there is just something about The Witch Who Caught Her Death that is just very special to me. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about The Rose Daughter, which is the second final book in the Supernatural Sisters series, otherwise known as the Maria Lewis universe. And I got this as a sort of a arc before copy, before release, and I tabbed it with all my tabs because when I get review books I like to tab them up. And yeah, I have my pins here. I also have an extra pin that I need to put on the backpack. So the premise of this is that there is a woman called Drexley Jones and she's very good at hiding, and she is the daughter of a elemental and a silk, and that makes her a sprite, and which also means she needs to hide because there has been no one like her in a long time. And it's just her life story cut between the past and present and switching between those two narratives, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Drexley owns part of my heart. I loved her. I love the cast. I love seeing all the bays and all the boys being back, and my favourite came back about 300 pages in. My first fave came in the past, and then Merbay was back, and I was like, oh, so good. Also, the dialogue in this kind of read a bit like mummy-ish, especially at this one point where the Merbay is like, oh, we need to go back and save them. And Drexler's like, we? No, we did not make the decision. I made the stupid decision to rescue you. There is no we. And I just wrote on the page, very mummy dialogue. I appreciate it. Yes, please, more. And I love it. So I'm going to talk about some of the stuff while I pin. So also, if you want to know where this bag is, it's the 13-inch Pin Trader backpack from Pop Culture. It's Beauty and the Beast themed, obviously, because Beauty and the Beast is my favourite Disney movie. And yeah, it also comes with this cute little pin. So, and I do have a plan that, because I don't have the Rose Daughter pin that came with the book that was released after the book at Supernova. I don't have it, but I'm going to save a space, so the rose pin is going to sit within the rose because it's the Rose Daughter, and I'm very excited about that. Let's just ramble on for a few seconds, shall we? So my first pin I've got is this 1992 Beauty and the Beast pin, and if you are any friend of mine, you know I'm obsessed with this movie. It is one of my favourites, but it's the one that I collect the most merch for. It's the one that I actively search for stuff for. And yeah, so I think it might try and go here. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, there we go. First pin's on. This might have been a little bit of a mistake, but we're going to go forward with it. So, like I said before, the writing style is very past versus present. So there'll be one chapter in the past, and then we'll cut to present day, and it'll cut back and forth. However, towards the end of the book, there is more present chapters as her past catches up with her. So this one is the It Came from the Deep. And I think I won't put that down the bottom. I might leave that. But we do have the classic Tommy pin, which I have the original one, but the original one I want to keep for displaying on my pin jacket because the original one was the original pin that was released, and I'm excited about that. So I think she'll go here. And the past versus and present narrative is one that I really loved. I also really like, was very good. I also like the side characters as well. Every time Maria writes, the side characters are always either very comedic, reliefy, or they sort of add to the story. And with this one, there was one that was a biker, or it was a motorcycle club, and I legit was oh, we're gonna get a MC romance sort of series from Maria in the near future, because that's apparently where my mind goes when I see motorcycle clubs and books. I also liked the romances that developed within this book. Like, there are some romances that have been bubbling, and other romances that sort of have been building for a while, and just you got confirmation that they were shipped in this book. And I, as someone who's shipped a lot of ships out in this series, I was like, oh yeah. Although the fact that my book boyfriend is now taken by a blue-haired werewolf. We got Tommy, so might just do one more, because I think I underestimated how difficult putting these pins in this, because it's like a layer of fabric that I have to push through, and also just trying to focus. But I might keep it to my most favourite book, now, which this is number 1, which is The Witch Who Courted Death. Also, I want to talk about something that happened at the very end. So this whole entire book, Directly has been either confronting her past or trying to run from it, and in typical fashion, running from your past to trying to avoid it is the only way you will actually confront it. And it's just interesting how I relate to Directly in the fact that she's like, I do not want to deal with this. This is a no, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. And I was like, same girl, same. There's stuff that I don't want to get involved with, but unfortunately we have to get involved with it. And ooh, that actually went in quite easily. Ooh. So we got The Witch Who Courted Death pin. This is actually, I think, my favorite one. Like, I love Tommy's design and I love the original wolf design, but this one was one that when I got it, I just went, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I also like how it's just turning out. Again, I'm keeping the rose not covered in pins except for the Rose Daughter pin that I'll no doubt get when I see Maria this year. I also just wanted to point out that so much of her history takes place back in, because she's been alive for so long, goes back into like old Hollywood and like eras that is nearly ancient history, and somehow you just feel transported into that. And I think because Maria did a lot of research around the time period, that it made a lot of, like, it was just so good. And I love seeing how she got set in her ways. I love just her seeing Lorcan and being like, oh, that's the kind guard from the prison, and just that gives more hints towards Lorcan's past. And I know that it's probably explored in the third to last book, which is Who's Still Afraid. But overall, I enjoyed the story. I also find it a little bit hilarious how this story overlaps with The Wailing Woman a lot because of Texas and Sadie. And she initially has a thought of like, those are doomed lovers, and I legitimately tabbed that and said, too soon, Maria, too soon. So we've got, I think I might try and do 2 more pins. So I've got Books of Magic and the Merman pin. Now, there are 2 pins, one of which this is the shell, which has the name of the book on it, and there's another one which is a merman pin, which again, is staying with my original Who's Afraid pin because it's just classic, and I don't want to play that just yet, but I will probably be like sifting through my pins and mixing up pins and everything when I get the chance. But no, so like, I highly recommend this series if you're looking for a good supernatural. So if you're looking for a supernatural, I highly recommend this book. It is so good. It is so just everything that I love about Maria's writing. Also, I wanted to talk about the romance because there is a fair bit of romance in here. We get a look at Directly's past love or love of her life, and then how that parallels with the present, where she's kind of got a thing with the leader, I think, of the werewolf pack, Ben Kapoor. I like Ben and Directly together. I like it. I like how they are together. I didn't like him in the beginning, to be fair, because he manipulated her, and I thought that was wrong of him. But then we get glimpses of her love with the past love of her life, and that love story was brilliant. I really liked it. Like, all the couples that Maria writes, I just have really loved together, and I just really love this book. Also, I just want to mention that I did do an actual exclusive interview with Maria Lewis that I will link down below. It's on my IGTV. And that was my first IGTV interview, my first real author interview. I'm so, ARC author interview, I'm still buzzing. But yeah, it was fabulous. So I would highly recommend the Supernatural Sisters series by Maria Lewis. And also, I got 3 pins on my bag, which I'm excited for. Yep, but thank you for watching me decorate my new bag. I will see you guys in the next video.